Hey there, welcome to the Top Listing Agent Show. Today we're going to talk about, I'd say, the most common question I get from just about anybody that reaches out to me. I get all kind of questions all the time, but one of the questions I get over and over and over again is, Chadi, how do I become a top listing agent? But how do I just become a top agent, periodly, whether it's a listing agent or not? So what I did is I put together a little cheat sheet right here so I don't leave anything out, and I'm going to walk you through a 3-step formula that if you absolutely follow, you are going to become a top listing agent.
Welcome to the Top Listing Agent Show, the place to be to stay on the cutting edge of what it takes to sell more homes in less time. Each week, your host, Chadi Bazzi, will share with you the best skill sets, systems, and strategies so you can become a top listing agent. And now, let the show begin.
One of the things that, let me reference it this way. I got a guy that I'm working with right now, a one-on-one coaching client, who came to me for the same exact reason. And the reason is, hey, how do I become a top listing agent? And I began to coach this guy, and on the first coaching call, all we did was talk about point number one right here. So you can go ahead and write down point number one is to have the right mindset. And I know exactly what you're thinking. Another mindset conversation. That was his same exact take on this whole entire conversation. He's like, look, I already have the right mindset. I just need to learn how to become a top listing agent. I need to learn how to get the leads, how to convert the leads, etc. I don't need to have another mindset conversation. So I was like, hold up, buddy. I know you've heard it all before. I know you've heard the whole entire formula on how to become someone who has a positive mindset. I go, if you've heard this formula before, then you've been exposed to the principles that you got to apply day in and day out in order for you to build a top listing agent mindset. And yet you are not a top listing agent, so something is going on. It could have something to do with the other 2 points, but you need to be coachable. You need to be coachable, and you need to just follow the coaching and trust in the process and believe that who you are is someone that can do it. So he's like, all right, man, I'm all in. Just tell me what to do, and I'm going to do it. So fast forward, we've only had 3 coaching calls so far. And just about maybe a couple of hours ago, we had a coaching call, but we never got on that coaching call. And the reason being is he sent me a text message saying, hey, coach, I apologize, but I got a listing appointment. I need to go on that listing appointment. And, for me, I was like, okay, well, that's a valid reason to cancel a coaching session, because all the coaching sessions are designed to help you go out there and generate business. Sure enough, it's his first listing appointment from some of the things that we're working on that he got, okay? And he went on that listing appointment, and from that listing appointment, like 30, 40 minutes later, he sent me a text message saying, coach, I got the listing. Now, I'm sharing this with you. It's because the first 3 weeks, the first 2 coaching calls, all we did was work on the mindset. And remember what he said to me? He said to me, Chadi, not another mindset conversation, but sure enough, within a week to 2 weeks, he's like, man, I'm glad I have been coachable. My mind is completely different. I thought I knew it all, and I just knew a lot of it, but I didn't know all of it. And now that I know all of it, I'm more than ready to go out there and dominate the marketplace. So his mindset went from, how do I just take a couple of listings here and there in addition to what I'm already doing, to how do I dominate my marketplace? How do I become number one? I see that this business can allow me to have it all. I want it all. Show me the way. So look, point number one, I want you to write it down. And it is, have the right mindset. Have the right mindset. As a matter of fact, the first thing I want you to do every single day when you wake up, regardless of what kind of mindset you think you are building, I want you to keep on building it every single day. So I put down a couple of things underneath here in reference to having the right mindset. I said, number one, you got to know what you want. You gotta know what you want. You gotta have that level of clarity. That level of clarity is gonna give you that high level of certainty. A high level of certainty is gonna help you take your confidence level to the next level. A high level of certainty is going to take not only your confidence to the next level, your self-esteem to the next level, your actions to the next level. It's going to take you to the next level. So you got to be 100% clear on what it is that you want. Not just like in your mind. I want you to commit it to writing. I want you to review it every single day. This is exactly what I want. And if you go back to the previous episode that we did where I walk you through a 5-step ritual that you should be involved in every single day to take you, your mind, and your business to the next level, that's part of what I want you to do. So if you haven't already watched episode number 26, you definitely want to go back and watch that episode twice and take on the exercise that I give you in there and do that exercise literally every single day for at least the rest of your life, the rest of your career, but for at least the next 30 days before you say this is working or this is not working. That's what I want you to do. So I said under point number 1, know exactly what you want. Number 2, I want you to know exactly why you want it. Exactly why you want it. See, knowing what you want is one thing. Knowing why you want it is what's going to give you the juice. It's what's going to give you the desire. It's what's going to ignite that fire within you to wake up every single day without an alarm clock. To put in the extra time every single day that you need to, put in. To have a higher level of energy where you wouldn't have otherwise. So A, know what you want. B, know why you want it. And C, you gotta believe it. You gotta believe it. Look, if you go back and watch the previous 26 episodes of the Top Listing Agent Show, one of the words that comes up over and over and over and over again is the word belief. You are a product of your belief system. What you believe dictates how you act every single day. How you act and how you show up every single day dictates the kind of results that you are producing. So guys, this is point number 1, and I put down right here a bonus point under point number 1. Sell yourself on that vision of the future every single day. Sell yourself on the idea that who you are is someone who's already accomplished everything that you want to accomplish. Look, your reality, your future reality, the future you, the future business, the future experience that you want has to live inside your mind before it could ever live in the physical universe. You got to bring it to reality in your mind first in order for you to bring it into reality into the physical universe. So you got to sell yourself on that vision every single day. So that's point number 1, guys. Let's go on to point number 2. So you now have the right mindset. You're waking up early every single day. You got a lot of energy. You're hungry. You got the desire. You want to go out there. You want to dominate. You want to be taking action. What's next? What's next is you got to have the right systems in place to bring in leads. You got to have the right systems in place to be able to bring in leads. Because if you ain't got no leads, you ain't gonna get no appointments. If you ain't got no appointments, you ain't gonna get listings. If you ain't gonna get listings, you ain't gonna make sales. You ain't gonna get money. You ain't gonna do nothing. So you cannot just sit there, hope and pray that someone refer you some business or you find business by accident. You gotta have lead generation systems in place in order for you to go out there and generate the business. Now, there's 2 ways to generate business nowadays. There's the active approach and there is the passive approach. Now, I say you gotta have both in place. Not just one over the other, you gotta have both in place, but you gotta begin somewhere. And if you're in a place right now where you're not doing the kind of business that you wanna be doing, then I would begin more on the side of the active approach. So, without going into too much detail here, what are some of the active lead generation systems that you can definitely put in place? Well, number 1, you can put an expired system in place. Look, it doesn't matter what marketplace you're in. There is property that is expiring just about every single day. In certain marketplaces, there's 20, 30, 40 expireds every single day. That means there's 20, 30, 40, 50 opportunities every single day. And if it's not a daily experience for you that there's that many expireds, then that in every single marketplace is at least a weekly experience. And if it's not a weekly experience, even if it's a monthly experience, there's 50 opportunities a month for you. All you got to do is just capture 1 or 2 of the 40, 50 that are coming up as an expired every single day or week or month in your marketplace And that right there by itself could be a whole brand new business for you. By the way, I believe the listing that he got today is an expired listing, or it could have been a for sale by owner. It doesn't matter. He made the call, active approach, and he got the listing. And then he sent me a text message. Let me just read you the text message. It's a very simple text message. He said, I can't believe how I got the listing just like that. I can't believe how I got the listing just like that. And my response was like, no, believe it. Believe it. This was your experience today. You've already proved to yourself that who you are is someone that can do it. This can be your experience over and over and over and over and over again. So guys, one of the systems is definitely the expired system. And I know for some of you guys out there, like, I don't want to call expires. They're mean, they're horrible, they're this, they're that. And I'll say to you is, look, you don't gotta like the activity. But if you fall in love with the result that it could absolutely give you, then the activity becomes a minor thing to tackle every single day. And if you're having a hard time wrapping your mind around this, simply go back to, hey man, what did I say I want? Why did I say I want it? Well, if I want it bad enough, then this is freaking what I gotta do every single day. And if you ain't willing to do it, then you better back up to point number one, where say, this is what I want. Say, well, I guess I don't want it bad enough. Therefore, I'm not gonna do the activity. Just take the goal off. That's fine if that's what you want. But I'm telling you, expireds is a good way to generate business. What's another active thing that you can do for sale by owners? Hey, these are, what is lead generation? Lead generation is trying to find a lead, trying to find a seller. You could try to find a seller doing a bunch of different activities, or you can just take a look at the list of for sale by owners and say, wow, these guys are a bunch of sellers. What do I got to do? You know what? I had another coaching client in my office today by the name of Ricardo. And Ricardo shared with me an experience of when he first started in real estate. And he's like, how do I find leads? And, basically, his broker said, go door knock. And he's like, well, what do I do? He's just ask them if they want to do business. And that's it. You just got to take that first step and put yourself out there. For sale by owner, even if you talk to, I don't know how many you need to talk to, but it doesn't matter. Eventually, by accident, you will get somebody to do business with you. And here's the thing, while you're waiting for that accident to happen, what's happening is you're generating a brand new kind of experience. You're generating a brand new kind of mindset. You're generating a brand new kind of skill. So by default, you're gonna get better at the activity. The key is to get started. So we said under active lead generation systems for sale by owners, expireds, and I put down database marketing. Database marketing. What am I talking about? I'm talking about your book of business. I'm talking about your past clients. I'm talking about your centers of influence. You gotta have that system in place. We're not gonna go in detail on how to put that system in place today, but I'm sure there's enough resources online. There's enough resources in this podcast. There's enough resources on chadibazzi.com that help you with your database marketing. So that pretty much covers the active approach. Let's move on to the passive approach. Okay, the passive approach is obviously you can do open houses. By the way, if you ain't got no deals going on right now, I would highly encourage you to be doing like 2 open houses minimum every single week, because that's a bunch of people walking into your open house. That's a bunch of conversations you are having. Again, even by default, you'd be able to generate some business. Even by default, you'd be able to generate some business. I got one of the coaching clients I work with just a couple of weeks ago did an open house in the city of Garden Grove here in Southern California. And he was totally blown away because he had like 54 people coming to the open house. Well, he ended up, one of the buyers that actually walked into that open house actually bought the property, so double-ended the property. And then from the other 50-some people that came in, he was able to capture a bunch of phone numbers, followed up on a bunch of phone numbers, and sure enough, he picked up 2 more buyers from the open house. So it's a passive activity, but it definitely works in every single marketplace. Another thing that you can do is farming. You can farm an area. It's passive. It takes a little time. But then again, if you're going to be in the business for the next 3 to 5 years, you got a lot of time. So farming is another activity that you can get involved in. And last but not least, online marketing. We are living in a digital world. Everything is happening online. You're watching this video online or listening to this podcast Online, you're streaming the internet. It's an online activity. Everything's happening online. You're making your purchases online. You're making your researches online. Your buyers are looking for homes online. Your sellers are looking for an agent online. If you ain't online, then you're missing out on a bunch of opportunities. So guys, we said point number one, you got to have the right mindset. Point number two, you got to have the right lead generation systems in place. Point number three is a very, very, very critical point, and that is for you to have the right skill set in place. The right skill set in place. And I'm gonna tell you exactly what 5 skill sets you definitely gotta be working on day in and day out in order for you to really take your business to the next level and become a top listing agent. See, most people in this business are not salespeople. They're just like, when I ask people, they just say, I'm a people person. I'm a likable person. Well, it's good to be liked. It's good to be a people person. I think you already have something in the right direction, but let's take it to the next level and put a strategy behind your natural born abilities and skills and literally skyrocket your results by putting the strategy behind the skill set. Because if you generate a lead and you ain't got the right skills, then guess what's gonna happen? Again, you're waiting for something to happen by default. Don't be that person. Default successes don't happen every single day. They happen once every blue moon. So if you have a lot of money and you can wait for it to happen by default, then turn off the podcast right now, turn off the video, you're good, you're golden. But if you're not having the kind of business that you want right now, if you're not living the kind of life that you want to live right now, if you ain't got the kind of money that you want to have right now, if you ain't got the luxuries that you put down in point number one, I want, then you got to build up your skill sets. So 5 skill sets you need to be working on every single day. Number one, or we'll just go with ABC. A is the ability to connect with people. The ability to connect with people, becoming likable, becoming trustworthy, earning people's respect, getting people to feel like they've known you forever, that's a skill. That's a skill that you need to be working on. Skill number B is the ability to qualify people. Qualify people, pre-qualify people. And we're not just pre-qualifying people to find out if they're motivated. We're pre-qualifying people to find out what do they want, what do they need, what problem are they trying to solve, their financial ability, how they process information, how they think, how they make decisions, etc., etc., etc. And then skill C is your presentation. Your presentation, whether it's a buyer presentation or a listing presentation. Guys, I remember when I first started my real estate career, I got the right mindset. I bought into the whole entire system. I got to work. I got involved in lead generation. I made a bunch of contacts. We're talking about like a lot of contacts before I set an appointment. I set an appointment and I did not have the right skill set. I did not even have a presentation. I was so scared out of my mind, I never ever showed up to that listing appointment. But now that I have the skill set, man, I'm looking for that listing appointment. I want to be on right now. You ain't inviting me to your home, I'm going to come knock on your door. I want to meet you. I want to show you what I got to do. I want to show you how good I am. I want to show you how I can help you. See how that strengthens the belief system? You got to have the right listing presentation in place, the right buyer presentation in place. And then D is you got to learn how to close people. How to close people. ABC, always be closing, but I like to replace that with always be contributing, always be adding value. By the way, yeah, you do need to learn how to ask for the order, but a real closer is one who will ask for the order without even asking for the order. He will do such a good presentation that the actual seller will go ahead and ask them to do business with them. For example, Camilo, another one of my one-on-one coaching clients and also a participant in listingsondemand.com and in my real estate NLP. He just shared with me that he went on a listing appointment last week, and throughout, because he's got the right mindset, he's got the right lead generation systems in place, he set the appointment, he went on the appointment, he said to me, Chadi, throughout the whole entire presentation, they kept on telling me that they have 2 more agents that they want to interview. He said, in my mind, I just heard it, but I dismissed it. I knew I had the right presentation to do, And I was gonna do such a good presentation that I did not even need to close them, and I am going to get that listing. Well, sure enough, by the time he's done doing the listing presentation, they said to him, "We like you. We believe you can sell our home. Let's get started." He didn't even have to close them. He didn't have to close them. See, the close is taking place inside your presentation, okay? So that's D, and then the final point is handling objections. Handling objections. Look, if you are going to be working with for sale by owners, well, there's only a specific amount of objections that a for sale by owner can possibly give you. You need to know what they are, and you need to learn how to handle them. If you're gonna work with expireds, well, there's 9 objections that an expired can give you. You need to know what they are, and you need to know how to handle them. Same thing for every other category, whether it's a seller or a buyer. You need to identify what objections could that possible potential buyer or seller give me, and how do I overcome those objections in a very, very, very effective and powerful way. And when you learn how to do that, guess what's gonna happen? Your belief system is gonna go up. Your confidence level is going to skyrocket. Your energy is gonna be on fire. Your hunger, you're gonna be hungry every single day. You're gonna take all the actions you've always said that you wanna take, that you've never taken. So guys, it's literally that simple. Have the right mindset, have the right lead generation, have the right skill set. So I know this is just the tip of the iceberg, and some of you guys are now like pumped up and want to learn this stuff, but literally don't know where to go to learn it. So no sales pitch at all. I don't want to sell you. I just want to give you the opportunity to discover where you can get that training if you want that training. We'll keep it nice and simple. All you got to do is check out listingsondemand.com, where I teach you every single thing we just covered right here and way, way, way more, so you too can become a top listing agent. So go out there, work on your mindset, go find the leads, talk to the leads, and convert the leads and become a top listing agent. Thank you very much for watching and or listening to this episode of the Top Listing Agent Show. This episode has been sponsored and brought to you by listingsondemand.com. I'll see you in the next episode next week. Thank you.